Banana Girl, about perseverance, sacrifice, and love. Banana Girl. In a dusty corner of a small West African village called Makoji lived a girl named Torella. At just 15, her shoulders bore the weight of the world, but you wouldn't know it from the way she smiled. Her laughter was soft and full of light, like the gentle rustle of banana leaves in the morning breeze. Torella was the only child of her mother, Mama Ika, a quiet woman with eyes that had seen more sorrow than they ever let on. Her father, a hard-working farmer, had passed away when Torella was just 7, leaving behind only the little land they tilled and a few banana trees that lined the edge of the farm. That grove became their lifeline. Every morning before the roosters crowed, Torella was up. While other children were curled under soft blankets, dreaming sweet dreams, she was on her feet, machete in hand, slicing through the dew-soaked grass to reach the banana grove. She would carefully cut down ripe bunches, her arms sore from yesterday's work, her back aching, but her spirit unbroken. She tied the heavy bunches with rope and balanced them on her head. Then, barefoot, she would walk 5 kilometers to the market in the neighboring town of Zayoro. There, she stood in the hot sun with her yellow bananas glistening like gold coins, her voice calling out cheerfully, "Sweet banana, fresh from the farm!" Some people would stop just to hear her sing. Others bought because they saw the hunger and honesty in her eyes. Torella always sold out before noon, not because her bananas were better than the others, but because she put her heart into every sale. But behind that smile were sacrifices no one saw. When she turned 12, Mama Ika fell ill. It started with a cough that wouldn't go away. Then came the fever, then the fatigue. The doctor in Zayoro said it was a lung infection, but the medicine was expensive, too expensive. So Torella made her first sacrifice. She dropped out of school. She didn't tell her mother. She pretended the school had changed its schedule and that she was learning in the evenings. But the truth was she couldn't afford notebooks or books or even the school shoes that had long since worn out. The pain of watching her classmates pass her on the road, uniforms neat, books in hand, felt like thorns pressing into her skin. But she told herself that one day, she'd return. She began working twice as hard. After selling bananas, she washed clothes for the old widows in town, swept compounds, helped clean the market stalls, anything to make a few extra naira. Every coin went into a small metal box she kept hidden under her mattress. One dry season, the banana trees began to wither. The sun was cruel, burning the earth with its fury. The leaves curled like paper and the soil cracked. Torella knew if the trees died, so would their only means of survival. She began carrying buckets of water from the river, back and forth, nearly 100 buckets a day to keep the roots alive. Her hands blistered, her feet bled. She barely slept, but she kept going. One night, Mama Ika found her sleeping on the porch, arms around a bucket, head drooping from exhaustion. "My child," she whispered, kneeling beside her, "you're working too hard." Torella woke, startled. "Mama, you shouldn't be outside. You need rest." Her mother looked at her, eyes full of worry. "You should be in school, laughing with friends, not suffering like this." Torella forced a smile. "I'll go back, one day, when we're okay again." When Torella turned 14, she got a chance to sell her bananas in the city. A merchant named Uncle Dio noticed her in Zayoro Market and said he could get her bananas into supermarkets. Real money, real customers. She was skeptical at first, but he promised to take only a small commission and help her transport the goods. With her mother's blessing, she saved up for a month and sent her first batch. 2 weeks later, Uncle Dio disappeared. Gone. No money. No bananas. She had trusted him. It was everything she had saved that month, and he had vanished with it. Torella cried. Not just because she'd lost the money, but because she had allowed herself to hope, to believe that maybe, just maybe, things were going to get easier. She spent that night curled in a ball, trying not to wake her mother with her sobs. But by morning, she was up again, cutting bananas. Word of her strength began to spread. A kind woman named Sister Mariam, who worked with a local radio station, heard about her and came to interview her one afternoon. "You're just a child," the woman said, holding a recorder. "Why do you work so hard?" Torella looked into the distance and replied, "Because my mother has only me, and I don't want her to suffer." The interview went viral across the region. People were touched. Donations began to come in. Some gave clothes, others money. A small NGO reached out and offered to sponsor Tarella's education, but she didn't take it, not yet. Not until Mama is healed, she said. Instead, she used the money to take her mother to a better clinic. With proper treatment, Mama Aka's health slowly improved. She began to sit up in bed, then walk, then cook a little. The day her mother walked to the farm again, even if only to sit and watch the trees, Tarella wept with joy. At 16, Tarella enrolled in school again. She was 2 years behind, but determined to catch up. Every night, after working in the banana grove, she read by candlelight. Her fingers smelled of earth and fruit, but her mind soared with numbers and sentences. She graduated top of her class in just 2 years. By 18, she was fluent in English, could type at lightning speed, and was invited to speak at youth conferences about resilience. Her bananas now sold not just in the Zayoro market, but were being packaged and branded under the name Tarella's Gold, a name a young graphic designer in the city gave her after hearing her story on the radio. She hired other young girls in her village, paying them fairly, teaching them how to run their own farms, how to read and write. The grove grew. Her mother's health stabilized. The metal box under the mattress became a proper bank account. And the girl who once walked 5 kilometers with bananas on her head? She now drove a small pickup truck, blasting cheerful music as she delivered crates of fruit, with the same bright smile and humble laugh. One day, at a youth event in the capital, Tarella stood before hundreds of students. She wore a simple yellow dress, the color of ripe bananas, and spoke into the microphone with confidence. When I was 12, I gave up school to sell bananas and care for my sick mother. At 14, I was robbed of everything I had. But I didn't stop. I cried, but I kept going. She looked around the room. Whatever you are carrying today, whatever weight you feel, you are stronger than it. Keep going. Keep believing. Your story is not over. The crowd erupted into applause. Later that night, she sat with her mother on the porch of their now painted home, looking at the banana grove swaying in the wind. I never thought we'd come this far, Mama Ika whispered. Tarella smiled. We're just getting started, Mama. And with the stars shining above them, the girl who once sold bananas to survive now sold them to thrive and to help others rise too.